Okay, well, if we can plain name that point, then we should be able to go backwards, and we should be able to actually put the points where they belong, given their address. So here we have an example where we have an address of a point. This point A is at 0, 4. Remember, the 0 is an X and the 4 is a Y because they always come X and then Y. This is giving us the directions on where to find that point A. So we need to plot it. If we start at the origin, as we always do, this tells us to go nothing in the X direction, but then to go 4 in the Y direction. So if I go nothing in the X, but I go 4 in the Y, that would put me at this point right here. So this is that point A. Okay, let's try another one. Here we have the point B. So again, this is an X and a Y. This tells us that we're going to find the point B going -3 in the X direction, nothing in the Y direction. So starting at the origin, we're going to go -3 in the X, so that would be left 3 units, and nothing in the Y direction. So my point B is right here. Okay, let's try C. And again, there's an X and a Y. So this tells us to go 4 units in the X direction, nothing in the Y direction. So starting from the origin, we're going to go 4 units in the X direction and nothing in the Y direction. So that would be my point C. Point D, again, here's our directions, our address. This says that we're going to go 0 in the X direction, -3 in the Y direction. So I'm going to go from the origin, nothing in the X direction. That means I'm not going left or right, but I'm going to go -3 in the Y direction. That means I'm going to go down 3 units. So point D would be right there. All right, so now let's try some other points here. Here we have the point 6, 2. So again, this is 6 units in the X direction, 2 units in the Y. So from the origin, we're going to go 6 units in the X, 2 in the Y. Since those are both positive, we're going the positive direction. There would be my point E. Now point F is the point 5, 3. So 5 units in the X, 3 units in the Y. So we're going to go 5 units in the X direction. Positive 3 units would be up 3 in the Y direction. So this would be my point F here. Okay, let's try a couple more. We have point G is at -4, 2. So again, there's our X and our Y. So we're going to go -4 in the X direction, and then 2 units, positive 2 units in the Y direction. That would put us right here for our point G. And then finally, the last one here is point H. It says we're going to go -3 in the X direction, 5 in the Y. So -3 in the X, positive 5 means up 5, so that would be this point right here. That would be our point H.